The long wait is finally over. Texas high school football is back, and we celebrate with a huge week one. These are the picks. Welcome into the picks, your guide to Texas high school football weekend. My name is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you so much for tuning in and breathe it in. We made it through the offseason to the 2019 Texas high school football season. A lot of big games on the horizon in week one. Too many to name, in fact. But we're going to start in Mason. 7 o'clock Thursday night at the Puncher Dome in Mason, Texas. It is a 3A versus 2A clash as the Wall Hawks take on the Mason Punchers. What are the keys to this matchup? Well, key number one, Wall's flexbone offense against Mason's front seven. I really think strategically this is where the matchup is going to be won or lost. Wall knows exactly what they want to do offensively. They are a flexbone offense and they run the ball really well with their quarterback Mason Fuchs and their running back Chase Rios. They go on a ground and pound against this Mason defense that historically has been very, very good. And they've got a playmaker up front in Sloan Stultz, the defensive MVP of last year's 2A Division I state championship game. This front seven for Mason has always been a strength under Michael McLeod, who now gets the promotion from defensive coordinator up to head coach. So when this strength-on-strength matchup comes to blows at the Puncher Dome, who wins out? Key number two, who steps up for the Punchers? And I mean that offensively. Obviously, last year's state championship team had a number of big-time playmakers, like their quarterback, Otto Wofford, an outstanding running back in Jake Cocker. And well, those guys are gone, and they need guys to step up in their stead and be playmakers for this offense. Now, they've got Clay Clearner back, and I know they're really excited about this running back, Jace Eckert, and you should know the name of Whit Bierschwally, their new quarterback. He's going to be a playmaker as well. But these are, in many respects, outside of Clearner, maybe unknown commodities. We don't really know what this offense is going to look like early. Can they find their identity early, or will the Wall defense pounce? And key number three, the scene. There are few places in the world quite like the Puncher Dome in Mason, Texas, and it has been home sweet home for Mason for many, many years. In fact, they have won 38 straight games at R. Clinton Schulz Stadium in Mason, Texas, and they don't plan on stopping anytime soon. That's a big playmaker as far as intangibles is concerned. Also, this is opening night. Hey, listen, there are going to be butterflies. This is the first game on the first night of the new season. And, oh yeah, by the way, this game is going to be broadcast statewide live in prime time on Fox Sports Southwest as part of the Texas Football Days promotion. So there's that added element of TV cameras all over the place. There's a lot going on in this game. Which team handles it better? Who am I picking? I'm going with Mason. I think they get the champion's advantage in this one even early. I think that championship pedigree carries them in Michael McLeod's debut as the head coach at Mason. Now, I think that this flex bone offense for Wall can give them some trouble. And don't forget, Wall's defense, led by defensive end Joe Walker, figures to be pretty good. But I think that the running game with Clay Clearner really gets going. I think that they ride this momentum of 38 straight games and a chance to show off on statewide television to another win. Give me Mason to win on opening night. To Texoma-land we go, 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Bearcat Stadium in Sherman. It's the Battle of the Axe, one of the great rivalries in Texas high school football, as the Denison Yellow Jackets visit the rival Sherman Bearcats. What are the keys to this matchup? Well, key number one, blood feud. These two teams do not like each other, and history tells you why. This is the longest continuous rivalry in Texas high school football, dating all the way back to 1901, and these two towns do not care for one another. It should make for an outstanding scene on Fox Sports Southwest as part of the Texas Football Days promotion. As for the game, well, recently it's been all Denison. They have won 6 in a row in this series, their longest such stretch in this series, and I'll tell you, I know this sticks in Sherman's craw. Winning the Axe is one of the biggest things for any senior class at either of these schools. And so this figures to be an emotional, high-energy game. Who can handle the scene better? Key number 2, Denison's Lightning versus Sherman's Thunder. Both these teams want to run the ball. They want to establish the run, and I think that it's easy to see why when you take a look at both of these rosters. Denison has a super sophomore named J.D. Price that you need to know. He was absolutely dazzling as a freshman last year, and this kid is a burner in the open field. When he gets a crease, it is zoom gone all the way to the end zone. On the other side for Sherman, boy, they've got a big physical back in Mike Brown. This guy is a load to bring down, and he loves to welcome contact and run over people. Both these teams want to establish the run in their own way. Who is more successful doing it, especially early? And key number 3, is Sherman's defense up to the challenge? I hate to put it on one unit, but I think that the Bearcats defense is ultimately going to determine the outcome of this game. Take a look at the last 6 games. All of them won by Denison. Sherman has given up an average of 41.6 points per game. That's simply not going to cut it. In fact, the last time Denison was held under 35 points by Sherman was 2012, and Sherman won. This is the name of the game here. They need a big game from their linebacker, Ethan Bedgood, their defensive back, Gage Smith. If the Sherman defense steps up, they can win this game and take back the axe. Are they up to the challenge? Who am I picking? I'm going with Denison. You don't pick against the streak even in a game like this, a rivalry game to be televised on Fox Sports Southwest. It is going to be a wild atmosphere. But 6 in a row is 6 in a row, and right now I think Denison simply has their arch rival's number. Now, I think Sherman's got a great path to victory here. They got to ride the wave of emotion. They got to get a big game from Mike Brown, and that defense has got to step up, especially pick up a couple of turnovers, force the Yellow Jackets to put the ball on the ground a couple of times. But for now, I think J.D. Price has a big game. The speed for Denison, a little bit too much to overcome. I think the Yellow Jackets make it 7 in a row. Give me Denison. Speaking of televised games, 7 p.m. Thursday night at Galena Park ISD Stadium. It is a 6A must-see matchup as the Katy Tigers take on the Galena Park North Shore Mustangs, and the title defense begins in earnest for North Shore after a sensational state championship a year ago where they beat Katy twice. They get them for the 3rd time in about 17 games. And now we're going to get to see exactly what this new-look Katy offense looks like. Quarterback Bronson McClelland is the headliner here, and it's been a while since we've been talking about a Katy quarterback as opposed to a Katy running back. But Bronson McClelland is really, really talented, and Gary Joseph is one of the very best in the state at getting the most out of his players. For North Shore, they're kind of a known commodity, right? You know they've got running back Zachary Evans. They've got an outstanding quarterback in Demetrius Davis, but how healthy are they? I understand that Shadrack Banks, their star wide receiver, is a little bit nicked up, figures to miss this game. That could be a big factor. And by the way, this game's on ESPN. So this is going to be a big-time matchup between two perennial powers in the Houston area. Excited to see how this one goes down. I do think North Shore gets a champion's advantage, but I figure it to be close. Give me the Mustangs. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Tarleton State University Memorial Stadium in Stephenville. It is a 4A clash between the Argyle Eagles and the Stephenville Yellow Jackets, and the Sterling Doty era has begun in Stephenville. And there's a lot to like about this team. I think the Yellow Jackets defense figures to be pretty good, and I think this quarterback, Cade Renfro, really impressed me during the offseason, especially in 7-on-7 play. But I look at this Argyle team with quarterback Bo Hogaboom. I think they're ready for a big breakout year. I think he leads a talented group of Eagles to a win in Week 1. And 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Shotwell Stadium in Abilene. It's a 6A matchup between the Amarillo-Tascosa Rebels and the Abilene Eagles. And after a terrific run to the state semifinals a year ago, Tascosa comes back loaded for bear. Love what quarterback Joseph Plunk brings, and they've got a defensive lineman named L.B. Moore that you need to familiarize yourself with. They are a threat to make another deep run this season in 2019. For Abilene, it's a new era under coach Mike Fullen. Excited to see what he does. I think he's got a couple of pieces that are very exciting, including quarterback Eric Abbey, but I think it's going to take a little bit of time for everything to gel there in Abilene. I think Tascosa is a little bit more of a finished product right now. Give me the Rebels. But those are far from the only big games in Week 1 of the 2019 Texas high school football season. Man, it's good to say that. Let's get to the lightning round. I think Aledo takes down Denton Geyer, but it's closer than last year. I think Allen gets by Cedar Hill, but it's closer than last year. And I like Austin Vandegrift to take down Cedar Park. China Spring beats Lorena. Big game in San Antonio. I like Cibolo Steele over San Antonio O'Connor. And the Duncanville Revenge Tour begins with a win over Lancaster. Barron Morton leads Eastland over Comanche. I like Edinburgh Vela to beat Laredo United. And El Paso Americas beats El Paso Eastwood. I like Frisco Reedy to beat Plano West. Give me Giddings to take down Rockdale. And in an interesting matchup for the 3A Division I state champs, I like Grandview to beat Glen Rose. Highland Park edges Rockwall. Iowa Park edges Holiday. And Kerrville-Tivy beats Dripping Springs. Liberty Hill gets a win over Leander. Glen. Longview starts it off with a win over Lufkin. And I like Midland Lee to beat Smithson Valley. In the Battle of Mission, I like Veterans Memorial to beat Mission High. Give me Odom over Corpus Christi West Oso. And Pleasant Grove beats Paris. 3 games that figure to be very close. I like Port Neches Groves over Silsbee. Give me Refugio over Tidehaven. And Richmond Foster edges College Station. Christian Huey leads Sundown over Winkin in our 6-man game of the week. I like Borden County over Strawn. And those are the picks. What am I wrong about? Which games did I leave out? Leave comments down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And of course, see us at TexasFootball.com, where you can find complete coverage of the 2019 Texas high school football season. Thanks for watching. Enjoy week 1 of the Texas high school football season. We'll see you.